They've made the Mavic 3 Cine. They've made a huge update to this drone.
This is DJI Mavic 3.
So here it finally is, the DJI Mavic 3.
The Mavic 3 is the first ever dual camera consumer drone.
The Mavic 3 is actually just a little bit lighter.
And today we are unboxing the brand new DJI Mavic 3.
Dude, is your head spinning yet? This past month, a lot of my feed has been filled with the latest in camera gear. And that's because a lot of the things that I'm looking at when I'm on YouTube are the latest filmmakers and gear that they're using. Techtober was a real thing, people. And I think we're finally wrapping it up with this the DJI event that just wrapped. They introduced the new Mavic 3, and it is a pretty sweet drone. All the new features in the Mavic 3 make it pretty tempting, but is it a drone that I need? Like the new Sony A7IV or the new DJI Ronin 4D. Like, do I really need any of this stuff? I think to answer that question, you need to ask yourself what it is that you do and what makes you great at what you do. Like, is it the brand new gear that you're purchasing year after year? Or is it the person who's using the gear that they currently have and what they know how to do with it? So like a perfect example, purchasing the new Ronin 4D. It's a sweet camera, honestly, it's badass. But is it gonna make me a better filmmaker, or is it just gonna make life on set easier? It's the latter. It's gonna make life on set easier. Year after year, we're constantly being introduced to a slew of new products, what they offer, and how they can possibly make us better at what we do. And as soon as the embargoes are lifted, content creators and influencers can spread the word fast. Which, I mean, honestly, I totally get. I mean, I'm guilty of that. We all have to pay our bills. So with that being said, that's why I thought making this video was important, instead of making a video specifically about the DJI Mavic 3, the Mavic 3 Cine, and anything else that they may have announced. So personally, I'm not trying to create a video about how that new gear is amazing and all its feature sets and how it's gonna make you better and how you need to go pick it up and like, I'm not doing that. When I post a video about a product, I'm really trying to just let you know what's available, especially if it's not something that you currently own. Like if you have the Mavic 2, I'm sure you're getting along just fine. I really don't think you'll need to purchase the Mavic 3. You're still gonna be able to fly a drone and capture footage. No, you're not capturing footage in 422, and no, you don't have a 1 terabyte drive on your Mavic 2, but like, you were getting along just fine without that anyways. Do you need the Mavic 3? So if you're new and you're considering buying a new drone, I would say if you have the funds readily available and you think you wanna have the latest and greatest, yeah, the Mavic 3 is an excellent purchase. It's mind-blowingly awesome. But if you have the Mavic 2 and you've been filming perfectly fine with it and you don't really use drone shots that frequently, say you're only doing them once every 3 or 4 months, do you need to purchase the Mavic 3 then? I don't think so. In fact, for the people who don't have a drone right now, I would say look into purchasing a Mavic 2, because guess what? All the footage that you've been seeing for the past 2 or 3 years since the Mavic 2 was released, all that looks great, even today. It doesn't look bad, it doesn't look degraded. I mean, it's one of the reasons why you want to purchase a drone to begin with, probably, right? So all I'm trying to say is you don't need the latest and greatest to achieve, you know, X, Y, and Z. You don't need the Ronin 4D, you don't need the A7IV. You can pick up an A7 III and be pretty damn happy with it. It's a great camera. And in fact, it's probably on promo right now because it's last gen's technology. You know, you don't need the latest to accomplish your goals of being a filmmaker. If you have the funds readily available, then yeah, you're kind of future-proofing your technology that you have on hand. But it's really not something that you need to capture quality, good footage. So to be clear, I'm not knocking the influencers or the content creators here on YouTube. I watch them, I'm a huge fan of everybody that does this stuff. But as soon as that embargo is lifted and my feed is flooded with all of that content, it kind of made me sit back and think, okay, do I want to add to all of these videos just my thoughts on the Mavic 3? Look, it's the newest drone out. It is really good. It should be better than the drone that was released 2 years ago. People have been waiting for the Mavic 3. So, you know, kudos to DJI for knocking out of the park with this one. But it's also not cheap. I believe off the top of my head, it starts at like $2,500 or something around there. I'll have the links below. But it's kind of like I looked at that stuff and I thought to myself, I don't think it's a good idea for me to upload just another video talking about what everyone else is already talking about. Instead, I kind of want to do the opposite and talk about why the Mavic 2 was such a good drone and still a great budget drone for you to get if you can get your hands on one, because I imagine they're on promo now and you could probably pick up a bunch of batteries for it for cheap. I remember the other day I was watching a video on the A7IV and somebody was talking about how great of a camera it is, how it's amazing and how you can do so much with it. And I thought, like, dude, I'm doing pretty good with my A7IV still. Like, I love this camera. Yeah, I wish it had a flip out screen, but do I want to go spend $2,000 on a new camera and replacing my gear? Not really. I mean, honestly, here it is. My S21 Ultra captures images and video just fine. So like, why do I have this stuff? Because honestly, it looks better when I show up to a film set with something like this or a photo shoot or something. People don't want me standing around taking pictures with my phone. I take pictures with this guy. So guys, don't save up your pennies for the new Mavic 3. If you're looking to buy a brand new drone, lay out your options. Look at the Mavic 2, look at the Mavic 3, see the price difference, and decide on whether or not the Mavic 3 is worth the extra bucks for what you are going to be using it for. I'm a huge fan of all of DJI's products. I love them. They make really good quality products. But I think we're at a point in technology where cameras and the gear that we're using has gotten so good that it's kind of hard to differentiate, especially with like YouTube compression and whatnot, what camera and what gear is actually being used. So look, I'm not gonna drag this video out. My whole point of this video is shoot with what you got. If you're interested in getting a new drone and you don't already have a drone, the Mavic 3 is a great option. If you don't have a camera, the Sony A7IV is a good option if you're looking to buy a brand new DSLR. But if you already have an A7 III or any other Sony in the past 2 years and you already have the Mavic 2 or previously released drone, consider that stuff and look at where it's gotten you so far. Like, think about that before making your next purchase. So those are my thoughts on Techtober. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear about it. Are you purchasing any of the gear that was recently announced? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button. If you loved it, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.